All right, let's get right into it. OpenAI has just dropped GPT-5, and this is a big one. It's a major upgrade that's really going to change how we all think about and use AI. We're talking smarter, faster, and way more intuitive than anything we've ever seen before.
Probably the best way to get your head around this massive leap comes straight from OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman. He put it perfectly. He said, using GPT-5 is like having a PhD-level expert in anything, right there on demand. This isn't just another tool. We're talking about a whole new kind of collaborator.
To really appreciate this jump, think about it like this. GPT-3, that was kind of like a high school student. You saw these flashes of brilliance, but it could also be a little bit annoying. Then came GPT-4o, which felt more like a college student, genuinely smart, really useful. But GPT-5, well, that's the PhD expert in the room ready to dive deep with you on super specialized stuff.
But look, saying you've got a PhD in your pocket is a pretty bold claim, right? So let's get into the proof. Because this new level of intelligence isn't just some clever marketing metaphor. It is backed by some seriously impressive performance numbers. So let's start with coding. There's this test called SW Bench. Now, this isn't about solving perfect textbook problems. It's designed to mimic the messy, real-world challenges that programmers face every day. And on this test, GPT-5 shows a huge improvement. It's solving complex issues that tripped up older models, and frankly, a lot of other AIs.
And it's not just about writing code. GPT-5 has made incredible strides in understanding the world the way we do, with our eyes and our brains, using both images and text. On the MMU benchmark, which throws college-level questions at it across all sorts of subjects that require analyzing diagrams and charts, GPT-5's performance is just staggering. It doesn't just beat other models, its score is actually higher than most human experts who took the same test. Wild.
You can also see this raw intellectual horsepower in its math skills. It scored near the very top on the AMIE math exam. Now, this is a test so hard it's used to find the absolute best young mathematicians in the entire country for the International Math Olympiad. This just shows a whole new level of complex, multi-step logical reasoning.
So, what do all these crazy scores actually mean? Well, a huge goal for GPT-5 was to massively boost its factuality and reliability. OpenAI is on the record saying this is by far their most dependable model ever, especially when you're asking it those really tricky, complex, open-ended questions.
Okay, but benchmarks are just numbers on a chart. Let's talk about what this new intelligence actually translates to in the real world. Because the real magic happens when you see what this thing can actually do. So after all those charts and scores, you're probably asking, okay, great, but what does this mean for me? What can it do? Well, let's look at a couple of incredible examples. You have to see this. A user asks for a quick refresher on a complex physics concept, the Bernoulli effect. Okay, simple enough. Then they ask for a moving demo to actually see it in action. GPT-5 just thinks for a second, writes almost 400 lines of complex code, and in about 2 minutes, boom, a fully interactive demo. It just turned an abstract idea into a hands-on learning tool almost instantly. The quality of its creative work has also taken a massive leap forward. When someone asked it to write a eulogy for older AI models, GPT-4o's attempt was okay, but pretty generic. GPT-5, on the other hand, wrote something with real rhythm, real nuance. It captured how these tools help us say things they could not quite say alone. It feels authentic. It feels emotionally resonant. Now, of course, an AI this powerful brings up some really important questions about safety and access. So how is OpenAI making sure that this incredible new tool is helpful and safe for everyone to use? Well, they're rolling out a new approach they call safe completion. So instead of the old system where the AI would either do exactly what you said or just flat out refuse, GPT-5 tries to find a middle ground. It wants to be as helpful as possible, but within safe limits. So if you give it a tricky prompt, it might explain why it can't give you specific details, but then it'll guide you towards safety guidelines or other safe ways to get what you need. All right, the big question. How can you get your hands on it? GPT-5 is rolling out starting today.
And here's the really huge news. For the first time ever, OpenAI is making its most advanced model available to free users. Now, Plus, Pro, and Team users will get higher usage limits, and then enterprise and education customers will get access next week.
Ultimately, technology like this only matters because of the impact it has on people's lives. It's not just for cool tech demos. It's already having a really profound effect on how people work and navigate some of life's most complex challenges.
I want to share the story of Carolina Million. Last year, she was diagnosed with 3 different types of cancer, and she first got the news in a really confusing medical report. She saw just 2 words she could understand: invasive carcinoma, and she just panicked. She took a screenshot and put it straight into ChatGPT, just trying to figure out what was happening to her.
Later, when she was getting conflicting advice from different doctors, she used the AI as a kind of thought partner. It helped her understand all her options, to weigh the risks and the benefits. In her own words, it empowered her to make an informed decision at a time when the stakes for her and her family couldn't have been any higher.
And this kind of expert-level reasoning isn't just for personal use. It's being scaled across huge industries. The biotech company Amgen is using it to speed up drug design. The bank BBVA is using it for financial analysis that used to take weeks. And Oscar Health is using it for incredibly complex clinical reasoning.
So, GPT-5 is a really significant step toward a future where every single one of us has access to a whole team of on-demand experts. It's a kind of superpower that would have been science fiction just a few years ago, which really brings us to the final and most important question for all of us. When anyone can have that kind of power, what will you build?